Good day, mate. I'm living in Sword now. That is a hard to tell. I think it's a bit sus, isn't it? It's fairly narrow, but it's persistent, which is, yeah, that's a bit. I can see another one. See at least one more, possibly two. Yeah, just looking out the window. I saw the other day. I saw up there some rainbow clouds, which I've never seen before. Highly unusual. And turns out a few other people saw them in the UK as well. There was some up in Scotland. They were seen in a lot of places by people who were paying attention. It made it to some like small like news things like the lad Bible and some other stuff. Apparently these clouds are like natural, but they're very rare. I'm not sure if I believe that these were natural clouds because I've never seen them before. I've literally never seen them before. But yeah, haven't got any children, so I've just been watching her at Christmas instead, you know.
Any woman that is physically above the age of 14 is ancient. Merry Christmas! It's strong, really, really well. I don't stop it. Stop it. Oh. No. Do you have a license? Absolutely not. I'm literally good. You think I know how to drive? I think that all of you have no ears. Coming into my bedroom in the middle of the night, and anyway. Hi. Hello. He sent it back! For some reason,
Oh, this is the funniest part, I think.
Hey! You're mad! For some reason, they really love me at the City University of New York. You can love it.
Oh, shit.
City of New York. For some reason, they really love me at the City University of New York.
New York.
Onita. Are you drunk, baby? Thank you very much for 16 pounds towards the sex.
What?
I was. Hey, get out! Get.
Yeah, I've seen her before, but like didn't really pay much attention to her the first time I saw her. She didn't really stand out much. Just thought it was a bit of just a little like gimmick. But like, if you actually watch loads of the videos, she's actually pretty funny, you know. I watched loads of them recently. They say that like female comedians are not very funny. So this woman's actually doing like something exceptional in that respect, you know, in that regard. Doing some paper drawings because I can't really connect my drawing tablets to this computer because I feel like it's probably too slow. It's quite an old one. It might work, it might not, but like some of these like art programs, you need quite a powerful like CPU and a lot of memory, or it just lags horribly. I haven't tried it yet. Sometimes it's a pain to like like install the software, because you've got to find like the activation keys and all this stuff. The one I like to use is it's called Clip Studio something, Clip Studio Paint it might be, or Clip Studio Pro, I can't remember. It's like a manga drawing thing. It's like mostly for like line drawing and manga style illustrations. But I probably like a lot of my early drawings, that like the better ones, I did them on paper. But I've been doing some this one, did this one first. Not the best. It's not the best. I was copying an AI generated picture, which is weird, because usually like AI copies like real people's. I think the AI is pretty cool. Like I wouldn't call it AI, I would call it like machine generated image or something, machine learning generated images or something. This anime is really good. This character, she's really cool. We've got a really good character design. It's not even like a main character, it's just like a villain. Really cool character. I didn't finish the drawing because this paper had a lot of like toxins in it or something. Like the actual sketchbook, it's a new sketchbook, so it had a bunch of toxins in that like a normal person wouldn't be able to detect, but my body's so sensitive that it basically started making me feel a bit weird, and then it started giving me like a sore throat, like a piercing pain in my throat that got worse and worse, until I removed the book from the room, and then I was fine. So a lot of objects, we don't realise how many these products of industrial society have these toxins inside them, but we just don't realise when we're healthy people, normal people, because our body mostly like deals with them somehow. But like I think when it builds up over time, and like the combination of all of these objects and stuff over a long time, that's partly what makes people ill. Not necessarily viruses or bacteria, but these toxins. You should look into a weed killer called glyphosate. It's like what do they call it? I forgot. Pesticide, yeah. It's in basically like a lot of crops and grains that they turn into food in the supermarket and stuff, and it's like a really bad toxin, but it's like very hard to avoid. And I've heard about it before, but I hadn't really think about it, pay much attention. I used to be, these aren't perfect, these drawings, like they're not perfect copies. Usually I'm not aiming for perfect copy anyway, like I'm trying to do it in my own style a little bit, just trying to do like an interpretation of how it looks, but also just try and make it look a good shape, a good looking image, but not necessarily like exactly how it was originally. But it's got to look close enough that you can tell it's supposed to be the same. Like her eyes aren't quite right here. That's a good character. That's a very good character. So far, this is a very good anime. I've seen some isekais that were just rubbish. Like there's so many. Like I like the one called Gate. Right, with the elf, and like they like see for a dragon or something. It's a really weird concept. It's like the Japanese military like invades, like goes through this like portal, and they like invade this like fantasy medieval world. That in itself is a really cool concept, but the way that Gate did it is a bit weird, and it didn't really like use its potential. I remember really liking it the first time I watched it, but like I've tried to watch it again since, or like read the manga, and it just like, this is so boring. It's so boring. Someone I know from the internet sent me one like earlier this year or something, or last year, and they said it seemed interesting because it looked, the character looked a bit like a Toho character or something. And I watched it, and it just seems so boring. Even Overlord was really good, like the first 3 seasons, I would say. But the most recent one, it just went to hell. Like it just went to pot. Like they completely lost this. And I think this is not the anime's fault. I think this is the original writer's fault. Like the way that you thought the story was going to progress, like he's going to find these like other players and stuff. He's going to like, because they set up this girl who had like black and white clothes on, and they set her up to be like the next bad guy that was like on par with him, right? And she was like in another kingdom, and she was like watching, and then that never transpired into anything. That never turned into anything. And he never finds like another player. That was like the whole thing they were setting up, is like you're anticipating that there's other real players that are also trapped in the isekai game universe, and that he's going to run into them eventually, because that's what that's the whole fucking point of the story, is he was looking for his he's like nostalgic about his old guild members who used to play the game or something like this, and like they all quit the game or something, and then the game closed down, but he gets like stuck inside the game. I can't remember exactly, because it's weird, because there was like, it seemed like there was like, he was nostalgic about something that happened years ago, not like a week ago when they all quit. I don't know, but it's a really good story anyway, and it starts off really well. And like that was the whole point, is like he was wondering like, are my guild members or something like still in this game, or if not them, then are there other players in the, because otherwise he's like the only person in this world that's like stuck with all these like game characters, which aren't like real people, but they seem a lot like real people, which is kind of cool. Like Log Horizon had the same thing. Like in Log Horizon, you couldn't actually tell like who was a real player and who was like an NPC. I haven't watched Log Horizon for a while, because it was one of those animes that like really dragged out. Same thing with Durarara. That one like really drags out for like 4 or 5 series, and it gets really hard to remember like all the things that actually happened. So you can't just like jump back into it without rewatching it all. More things over there, look. Some up there as well. So yeah, you can't that was the one that's set in like Tokyo. It's set in a district of Tokyo called Ikeburo or something. I can't remember exactly. And it's kind of this very like unusual looking place. I'm not sure if I'd actually like it. Like, it seemed cool in the anime, but I'm not sure if I would actually like it if I went there. So I looked it up on Google Earth, and it didn't really seem like that cool. I like Akihabara. Yeah, I'd love to go to Akihabara. It's really cool. That's from Steins Gate, which was like my fucking favorite anime, like about 4 years ago. I had this, but I don't know why I had this, right? But I went to some like psychological evaluation thing, right, in like 2019, and I don't know why. Like, someone told me I should go there, but I don't know who it was, and I don't know why. It might have been because I was on like bail or something, because I was in like legal trouble, and I went like dressed in like a lab coat. Because I was like cosplaying as Okabe Rintaro, yeah, Okabe Rintaro. It's fucking hilarious. Because I didn't want to actually go, so I was just messing around. So I just went there in a lab coat. And I went in there, and it was like these two black guys. They weren't even like a real like psychologist like you'd imagine. They were just two like black guys. It's fucking hilarious. This is like one of these little things that happen in your life that you'd rather forget about. They didn't even ask me like, why are you dressed like that? It's like go and pretend to be insane and see if they like figure it out. But yeah, this anime shows you that like there's still good shows. You know, there's still some like Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, very good show. I liked Vinland Saga, but I didn't finish it. I got to like episode 6 or something, because it just turned into like mindless violence. Which, I mean, if you're trying to do like a depiction of history, that maybe that is the case, but all we hear about from history is a very small like snippet of what is recorded in the books, what they want us to know. You know, we don't know what it was actually like, how the people felt, like why did they do what they did. We don't know that for certain. We can just conjecture. But yeah, Vinland Saga, what I liked about it was like trying to be more realistic and historical based than most anime. Like if you look at like Rurouni Kenshin, that's pretty historical based as well. It's pretty cool, like especially if you read the manga, which I haven't done. Apparently it has like loads and loads of details about all this like Japanese history stuff, which is really cool. But Vinland Saga just turned into like bullshit, because like he's still like a little kid, but he's like fighting two soldiers who have swords, and he's like using like 2 knives or something, or 2 short swords. And he's turning into like fucking Kirito or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it just like becomes too unrealistic, and then and also mindlessly violent, and then I lose interest. But I've been thinking about furries. I saw this. I saw this fucking thing, right? Yesterday. And it's like, this is weirdest thing. Look at this, look at this.
Level up your gaming space with metal posters from Displays. Hang your
There's a video game that's called
I did actually look at those poster things, because like, that's the only advert that I've ever seen that like had any sort of appeal. But I looked at them and there wasn't a poster that I thought was like really, really good that I actually wanted. So like, I didn't get one. I can't really afford to spare the money at the moment. Yeah, you know.
No, it gets a new campaign where players arrest a pedophile furry streamer. There it is. Here's a video depicting the part of the mission where the players find the room. Here we go. Bro, look at the house. Oh my god, look at the house. Jeez. What the? Oh no.
Oh no.
What is this? Wait, hold. Look at the fucking picture. Oh, this is too fucking good. I love just like pausing and looking at it. Oh, bro, look at the over the door. Gaming in progress. Oh man, they're about to find the motherload in here. Look at this. Holy shit. Wait.
Average Discord user. No, because so I was thinking about furries, right? Now I'm willing. I hate furries, but I'm willing to admit that, like, in their mind, like, the thing that they're into is not like directly equivalent to an actual animal. And that is like the same as the lolicon thing, the lolitas characters. They're not like they're not like the people that are into them are not they don't perceive them directly as being equivalent to children, and basically if you try to, like, let's say like the government tried to ban furries and they said you can't dress up in a fucking in a bright blue dog costume and get it on with each other, because that would be like encouraging, like, you know what. See, this would be undemocratic though, because most people don't know what furries are. Even now, like, most people in the country probably don't know what furries are. So if you were like a lord or something and you just tried to pass that law, like, secretly, which is usually what they do, it's not democratic, because nobody knows what furries are. They haven't had a chance to be informed about the issue, and they haven't had any input as to what they think the government should do. The government is supposed to represent the will of the people, but it actually doesn't. It's like, it's there to enslave the population and to brainwash them so that they continue in that paradigm. So yeah, similarly, if you dredged up some like medieval law and you tried to like apply it to like furries, to make furry illegal. It wouldn't be fair because furries didn't even exist in medieval times, and whatever the law was about has nothing to do with furries. But that's basically what they've done for these anime images. If you look at like the UK law, right? So like this here, like no one would actually think this was like a.
Plan for white women. That's what you see when you're.
This isn't a photograph of a child, right?
I know about 100.
It's like it's like a computer generated. It's a computer system that's generating an image that's controlled by like a 20-year-old British woman, a young adult, and it's based on like an abstraction of a person. It's based on an abstraction of a person in like a highly fantasy context that has childish characteristics, right? It's not actually a photograph of a child, right? Nor is it a photograph that's like been manipulated to disguise it as a drawing or something. It's literally like a computer system that takes like motion capture scanning data or something. I don't actually know how it works. It might be it might be visual, or it might be like body trackers, like what they do in VR. So you've got like sensors all over your body. I'm not sure how it works with VTubers. I assume it's like a camera kind of setup, like an Xbox Kinect sensor used to be. So yeah, it's just disingenuous and uninformed. Now this is a character where you can't tell how old they are. Like you actually can't tell. Like if you watch the anime, the demon one in like episode 8, 9, you can't tell how old she is. She's just kind of like a Japanese looking kind of teenage girl. I don't know. She's very girly looking, like she's got these like very Japanese anime style clothes on, which is really cool. But you can't tell how old she is. And I think because it's a demon, you know, it's probably implied that she is like hundreds of years old or something. She's not like 20 years old. She's like 50 years old, or you know what I mean? She's like 100 years old. I don't know. But like you can have like, see in Asia you could have like you can have an old woman that's like 4 feet tall, right? And is very thin and whatever. Because that's just the shape of the body that they have. I'm thinking about this character. Now I see. I know it's a boy now. I know the actor is a boy. But like I'm just I haven't really watched Harry Potter since then. It's awkward, right? It's difficult, right? Because it is like one of my favourite fictional series, whatever, like settings. So it's difficult, but I'm just treating it as a fantasy character. I just like the appearance, you know, and the kind of like what it represents, as in how it ties into like British people of the late 20th century. You know, it is a fantasy character, and it is played by a boy in the movie, but it is based on like real people. You know, it's based on like real girls from 20th century England, although it's, you know, loosely. If you read the original books, like the character is more kind of like a real, I'd say they're more like a real girl, because they're more like annoying. They're more annoying, and they're less like confident and aggressive and whatever. Like movie Hermione is very aggressive and like cool, whereas like in the book she's like kind of quiet and like nerdy. This is definitely a kind of Mary Sue character that they've kind of built onto, like because of what they know, like the inside information they know about this person. They know it's a boy, not a girl, so they've put all this masculine behaviour onto it. And the reason they've done that is because our enemy wants to subvert and control your expectations of what women should be, of what women are like and what they should be like, what's appealing, what you should be looking for. And so they have created these like hyper masculine, you know, aggressive, like cool, and also like they're beautiful, right? But they're not actually realistic looking, like Taylor Swift, and a lot of these celebrities. They're not like feminine. They don't have a true female appearance because they're not really women. So your anime characters, they're actually closer to real women, although they also have a lot of the same. Like this Mary Sue character that they've put in the movies is kind of comparable to them in like behavior and abilities and stuff. So she's kind of like anime tier in that respect, but she's not a real female, like even the actress, and she's not like the behavior isn't realistic to a real female. So you might as well just go for your anime characters instead. But out of the real world celebrities, that is my favourite one. Probably because I grew up with it, and also most of the other ones are American, and I'm not American. I can't really relate much to American culture, but I can relate to the Harry Potter culture. And there's not much else like that really. You got Merlin, you got Doctor Who, which was like the remake was heavily diversified though. You got that Billy. Is it? I don't know what her name is. The blonde one. I wonder if that's even a real girl, because she looks very unusual. She looks unusual for a girl. She was quite attractive, but she's not really my type. In the old Doctor Who, and then you had like the Indian one. She's kind of cute, but she's not really attractive. I mean, there aren't many British celebrities that I can be interested in, especially because they're all men, you know. And most of the time I can probably sense that, but this one, you know, on a subconscious level, but this one like slipped through my defenses, I guess. That natural radar you have for like anything that's unnatural and weird, like American pop music, like Miley Cyrus. There's a guy that I talk to on Telegram, and like he's alright. He's got some abilities similar to me, you know. He taught me a lot about astrology. But he was saying that he fancies Miley Cyrus. I'm just like, fuck, man. Insurmountable cultural differences. Fucking hell. She's a little skank. I say she, it's not a girl, you know, it's not a girl. She's just diseased. It's like that Ariana Grande. She's a little bit more innocent looking and like wholesome, but she's really the same as all the rest of them. There's nothing for me. There's nothing for me on the TV in the Hollywood. I'm not much of a book reader either, so it is mostly just the video games and the anime. You know, you look in this show, they've actually got like traditional European music and stuff, which is really good, and it's really like rare to hear that kind of stuff. It's really good, you know. I guarantee you watch anything on TV right now that's popular, it's not going to be like anywhere near as European as like this anime is. So no Sweden. So the red-haired guy is called like Stark. The guy that kills this one is called Stark, which means strong in German. So I was like, before my dad got cancer again a couple months ago, I was like starting to learn some German. Not because I have a strong interest in it. I've only been there once, but I have one of my grandmothers is German. She speaks German, so I heard it a lot when I was younger. And I have this like hot, like distant cousin who's German. She has like black hair. And also like apart from Japanese and English in anime, like the language they speak the most is German. Especially in Fate Stay Night, you know. So I've always wanted to learn like another European language. I did Spanish at school, but I'm not really sure you can count the Spanish as like Europeans. Kind of like out there on their own. They're kind of like, you know, a lot of the people who speak Spanish are like Brazilians and like Mexicans and all that sort of shit. It's like they're not really Europeans. You get what I mean? But my Spanish teacher was pretty hot, so that might have been the main reason I chose it. But I don't remember much of it. I wasn't bad at it. But I don't have any interest in Spanish. It was a bit useful for playing guns because like all the players were like Brazilians. But I've always thought like, maybe I should know like a European language. It's kind of weird that I don't. But like I don't have any interest in any particular one. So I did start like picking up some German. Our maid girl's come back. She's brought a load of shopping. So yeah, I was learning, and it wasn't too difficult, but my memory's not very good. But yeah, Stark means strong. So you've got like the Stark Varg is like this new electric dirt bike. I'm not sure what Varg means. I think it might mean wolf. Yeah, I think Hunter's girlfriend was also possibly German, but he said Eastern European. He told me Eastern European, so I thought maybe she was like Czech or like Ukrainian or something, or from Hungary maybe, like something like that. But I think she might have actually been German. I don't know why he didn't just say German if she was German. I'm not sure. But they broke up like just before he went to prison. But he was definitely speaking German. He definitely understood German. I don't know how much. If he was just picking up like the politics and the historical words, or if he was actually speaking it, because I think he was actually able to speak it, which is pretty good considering he was only like 21 when I met him. I don't think they even let us do German at school, at Buckingham School, because it was considered like too hard, or like they didn't have enough resources to run it. I know they did it at, they let you learn it at the Latin school, and I met people who had learned it. Met this like pilot guy. He was like middle class, and his dad was like a chemical engineer. Oh yeah, this guy told me he worked for like Microsoft, and like you've got to like remember, like I was like 17 or 18, so he was telling me like, yeah, he worked for Microsoft, and I was like, what? Because I was getting interested into like programming at that time, but I was just learning like basic stuff. I don't know if he means like something like more like low level, or if he was actually like doing something like technical and difficult. But like he went on to become like an airline pilot. I think I had him on Facebook, but I deleted Facebook like 8 years ago when I started getting into arguments with like social justice warriors and people, and it was just more like, it was getting to the point where it was like stuff that you said on there could get you in legal trouble. So I was just like, fuck this. I was becoming more political, you know. Yeah, the reason I left my tent is because the tent started to go a bit moldy now that it got to December. The condensation of my breath and stuff. It was so cold. I guess like it got wet and it never dried, and mold started to grow. I had to leave.